To reconnect. Hello. Yes, we are live. It said trying to reconnect, and there we have connected. Folks, thanks for being here again. I'm just going to let you know we are on number 6 of my Boulder Business Spotlight. So fun. Yes, I did miss a week. Thank you for noticing. And you will also notice that I'm outside. And the reason I'm outside is because this week we selected a business that does not sit inside brick and mortar. It is not your retail. It is not a restaurant. It is brand new, something that we wanted to bring attention to. In case you don't know it, and I think a lot of you do, a lot of my followers anyway, we today are talking to an individual who's created a company that centers itself, in my opinion, around community and providing and giving so much to the area that we live and love here in the Boulder County area. I'm going to give you a teaser. This man has built his life around exercise, but much more. This is a former Olympian. You're always an Olympian. This is an Olympian. This is a father. This is a husband. This is a community member. He comes all the way from Australia, Oz they say, but he lives here in Boulder, and I think you're about to guess it. This man created Team Boulder, Troop Events and Management Boulder. This is Lee Troop. I'm so excited to have my friend here, and yes, I'm going to pop my mask back up as he comes into the scene, and then I'm just going to be here for a second, and I'm going to let you guys look at his face instead of mine. But here, Lee, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Matt. I really appreciate it.
So I get fired up about my introduction. So Lee Troop, I just want to say this. I'm going to put the camera on him so he can take his mask down. I'll walk to the other side of the camera. But Lee, this is what I brought you in here because this is what I love about you, man. A lot of things. You give to the community. I say tirelessly, I know it tires you out. You produce events. You coach athletes, elite, beginner, all types of athletes. And then something that's close to me, you provide kids run groups, any kind of run group, but my kids are in your run group, which I think is super cool. Run club, a social way these kids get into the sport that's healthy. And the other thing is you do, like, I don't do that many races anymore, but all of the races I do, you put on, from Pearl Street Mile to the Thanksgiving Fun Run, Super Santa, St. Patty's Day, all of it. I just want to say I walk the walk, folks. This guy and we do a lot of stuff. I go lockstep with him. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I'm going to step over here and I'm asking a question. You come right out in front of the camera. So tell me this real quick. Like, you've been in running your whole life. What made you decide to create something like Team Boulder?
Honestly, I started the Boulder Track Club, about 10, 11 years ago. And, that sort of ended up becoming a Goliath, so to speak. And we just got to a point, my wife and I, that, what we wanted and where that club was going. And, based on the many personalities that were there, we wanted to move in a different direction. So I took some time out for a year and I was coaching a number of athletes, and we weren't affiliated to a club in any way, shape or form. I was doing events, so putting on road races. We've got the Pearl Street Mile, which this year will be the 24th edition, and we're contracted to do that through downtown Boulder. And all of a sudden, a lot of my athletes wanted a club to actually represent that, I guess, embodied what I did and what they believed in. And my company name is Troop Events Athlete Management. And so we just broke the acronym down to team, and we ended up becoming Team Boulder. And so that started the running portion of it. And we had a lot of parents that have supported us through the youth programs. We have a youth program, a teens program. We have, a club that's just set up for every individual, regardless of age and ability. And then we have our elite athletes. And just recently, well, when I say just recently, it was a year ago, but Jake Riley qualified for this year's Olympics in Tokyo. So the whole club was really just unearthed from that. And we're, got a lot of support through our sponsorships and groups we work with. But a big association that we have is with Boulder Valley School District, where we put on the Mountain Lions program. It's a 6-week program in the spring for track and a 6-week program in the winter for cross country. And so we have a lot of kids within the Boulder County region that want something outside of that 6-week program. So Team Boulder fits it.
I love it. I love it. So here's the thing. You brought up those events. I absolutely love this. I mean, I think of EFAA. I think of the Harvest of Hope. Tell us about why you give money from these events to these amazing organizations around Boulder.
I think it's important to have an association with local charities. I mean, they're really working hard. I mean, they're the unsung heroes, right? They're the ones that are out there trying to, get as much food donated and money as possible to help those that are less fortunate than us. So I try to make sure that a lot of my, what I'd call my top tier events are aligned with a charity. So our St. Patrick's Day race this year will be a virtual event, but through Avery Brewing, we're working with EFAA. And then the Downtown Boulder Series, the West End and the East End won't happen this year, but we're associated with the Downtown Boulder Employee Assistance Fund. We have the Callarat Trail Race, which is aligned with the Calwood Education Property. We have the Sunset Trail Race, which is aligned with 4 Mile Watershed, which is now the Boulder Watershed. And then, as you've said, the Thanksgiving Day race is with Harvest for Hope, and the Super Santa race we have is aligned with Boulder Voices for Children. So not only do we want to try and raise as much money as we can, the idea is that for people to realise that as we do these events that we are very community centric and we make sure that a lot of proceeds go to them, but it's also putting a spotlight on the work that they do, and that can't really be said enough. That when we did the Boulder Voices for Children, a lot of people have heard of the organisation but really didn't understand the work that they did. There's 2,500 kids a year that are abused and neglected here in Boulder County, and 300 end up in foster care. So once you start to tell the stories, people then realise that their registration fee it goes to a much greater cause than just supporting the event.
That's it. All right. So, and I signed up for that race. Folks, if you don't want to do a race, sign up for the race and then just don't do it. Because I put the money in, I had to do it, and I've got the bib, it says, or not the bib, but buff, and it says Super Santa. But that money, here's the thing. These guys don't know this. This guy cares so much, and that's why I'm bringing him in. Like, it makes me really happy that he cares so much about our community. Tell me this, we were just talking about it a second ago, and I'm drawing a blank. Tell me a little bit about the satisfaction you get, not just from the elites, but just what you said, helping these kids. Like, you get to see these stories. You shared these stories on Instagram. Like, how touching is that you can feel like you're really giving? Because to me, that's so special.
Well, in Boulder, we live in a very polarising town. We have world champion rock climbers, cyclists, triathletes, runners, and a lot of people here sort of feel like they're a bit of an afterthought, and all they want to do is get involved in running to lose weight, or they want to support a charity, or they want to try to improve on a 4-hour marathon PR. Yep. And so the cross-section of people we have, everyone has a story. Yep. And to be able to be involved with that and to help them, I think is really important. I coach a guy called BJ Padilla. People see him on Instagram, and he has a disability, and to be able to coach him twice a week, one-on-one, it's very humbling for me to be able to know that his outlet is running. And we're in a pandemic. It hasn't really changed his life a lot because he can't get out based on, the situation that he's in. But just knowing that twice a week his mum drives from Longmont to bring him here so that I can coach him, and what it means to him makes me feel like I'm actually giving back. I was a professional athlete like you for 20 years, and I was very fortunate to get so much community support, whether that was through sponsorships or fundraising or going to speak at events. So I feel like now that, my career's over, it's my turn to actually give back what I took, but to also give it back tenfold because of the fact that we do have a platform, and a bigger platform that we're on. So it means that we should be able to do more.
Let's do it, guys. We're going to do more. And here's the thing. As always, Lovato Properties wants to sponsor this. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy one entry to the virtual St. Patrick's Day race from Team Boulder. So you guys, the best interaction, comment something, get in this post. You're going to win. We're going to buy you an entry to that. I'm going to get mine, of course, because I love that event as well, not just for the Sox League. But here's the thing. This guy cares. He embodies community. Support him. Check it out. It's a pandemic. And how hard is it to run events and get people active? It is exceedingly difficult all the time, but in a pandemic especially so. So folks, check out Team Boulder. Do your part. Get involved. This guy, he needs you. We need you. Let's go do it. Can we do it? Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Mike.